What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rosie TV, and the Confederations Cup starts this weekend. It's this year's big international tournament, and I'm here to preview it for you guys. Now, the Confederations Cup might not be a Euros, a Copa America, or a World Cup, but I still think it's a very exciting tournament. I just remember the last Confederations Cup back in 2013. That was such a fun tournament with the likes of Brazil, Italy, Uruguay, Spain were in that tournament, Mexico, we even saw Tahiti. There was a lot of great games, including the final where Brazil beat Spain 3-0. The Italy-Brazil game was really good. The Italy-Japan game was one of the best games that year. So there's not much hype around this tournament, but for me, I'm extremely excited because this is basically the dress rehearsal for the World Cup. So first, let's look at Group A. We have Mexico, New Zealand, Portugal, and the hosts, Russia. Now for me, there's two clear favorites here, Mexico and Portugal. New Zealand are in here because of their Oceania Cup win, I think that's what it's called, and Russia are obviously the host nation, but they're clearly the two weakest teams here. I think Russia will edge New Zealand because of the fact that it is in their home country, so I don't think Russia will get dead last. I think that will be New Zealand. And it's really a toss-up between Mexico and Portugal for top spot. In World Cup qualification right now, Mexico are top of the hexagon in CONCACAF. They're undefeated, and I think they're going to be extremely hungry to erase that Copa America Centenario from last year. We all remember that game in the round of 16 against Chile where they got absolutely destroyed 7-0. And that was a very uncharacteristic Mexico that we saw. They're usually really good in international tournaments. They always turn up for the tournaments. They play like such a fluid team. Portugal, on the other hand, they are the European champions. They surprised everybody last year, getting third in their group, but then going on to win the tournament. But I'm interested to see how Fernando Santos uses the two Silvas, Andre Silva and Bernardo Silva. They weren't part of that Portugal winning side last year, but they have broken out this season. Andre Silva having a great season for Porto, which earned him a move to Milan, and Bernardo Silva having a fantastic season for Monaco, winning the league and making it to the semifinals of the Champions League, which has also earned him a move to Manchester City. Last year, Fernando Santos used a diamond formation, a 4-4-2 diamond formation where Nani and Ronaldo played up top. But in the past few qualifiers, he has used a 4-3-3 formation, which makes me think Andre Silva will start up top with Ronaldo on the left and Bernardo Silva on the right, which will equate to a very scary front three. We'll probably see the likes of William Carvalho, Andre Gomes, and João Moutinho in the midfield. But I do think they also have an aging defense. I think their fullbacks are fantastic. Rafael Guerreiro had a good season for Dortmund, and Cedric had a very good season for Southampton as well. But their two center backs are in their mid-30s. Whether it's going to be Pepe and Bruno Alves. I know Pepe's definitely going to start, but who's going to partner him? Is it going to be Bruno Alves? Is it going to be Jose Font? Both of them in their mid-30s. And Pepe's obviously no spring chicken as well. So last year, they largely won due to their defense, but this year, it might be their downfall. That being said, I'm going to say Mexico actually topped this group with Portugal coming in second, which I don't really think is a problem for Portugal because they won the Euros, getting third in their group last time. But moving on to Group B, we have teams like Australia, Cameroon, Chile, and Germany. Australia are in this tournament because of their Asian Cup win. And right now in World Cup qualification, they are third in their group, which means they'll have to play a playoff. So their form isn't the best at the moment, but it is important to know that they're actually undefeated with 4 wins and 4 draws. So some of the other Asian teams have definitely struggled to beat Australia. I do think this is the toughest group because I still think Australia are a very good team, as well as Cameroon, who won the African Cup of Nations earlier this year, beating Egypt in the final. But just like Group A, there are two clear favorites for this group. It's Chile and Germany. So I don't see Australia or Cameroon coming out of this group. It's also a toss-up to say who's gonna get bottom of this group, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Cameroon get bottom, Australia get third, but that could go either way. Moving on to Chile, who are, in my opinion, the favorites for this competition over the likes of Portugal, Mexico, and Germany. They won back-to-back Copa Americas back in 2015. That was their first ever international trophy. And then they beat Argentina on penalties again last year. They might not have the best individual players in defense and in midfield, but but they have two world-class players surrounded by very hard workers. Obviously, look for Alexis Sanchez to have a big tournament as he usually does, and Arturo Vidal is coming off of a wonderful season with Bayern Munich. So expect him to be that midfield enforcer that we have seen over the past 5 years. Finally, we have to talk about the World Cup champions, Germany, who for me are the weakest of the big four teams in this tournament. Now you might ask, how could a team with Neuer, Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, Mesut Ozil, Toni Kroos, Thomas Muller, Sami Khedira, all these World Cup winners, how could that be a weak team? But the reason why it's such a weak team is because none of those players are actually going to the tournament. Jogi Löw, I think, is not taking this tournament very seriously. He's taking more of the younger players. Guys like Henriks, guys like Söle, guys like Demirbay, guys like Younes, guys like Timo Werner. This is going to be a great time for them to gain experience, so it might be a smart move going into next year's World Cup. A lot of these players will have valuable minutes for Germany in a big competition. But at the same time, that could cost them and they could end up losing this competition because of the fact they took a weaker squad. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and say Chile get top of this group with Germany coming close behind. While they are taking a younger and a less experienced team, there's still a lot of quality players on this squad. These young players are still full of potential, and let's not forget there's guys still like Julian Draxler, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Shkodran Mustafi, some of these established Germany names that are still going to the tournament. So there you have it. From Group A, I said Mexico would top the group with Portugal coming in second. And in Group B, I said Chile would top the group with Germany coming in second. And when the group stage is over, I will preview the semifinals. This is a very short tournament, but I do think it's going to be a very entertaining one. I'm very excited. So you tell me your predictions for the Confederations Cup group stage in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe for more football content. And thank you for watching Rosie TV.